Hello and welcome everyone, it is me, the Laval, also known as How to Do This, back for you with another video. And this time we are taking a look at a deck I have been having an absolute blast with IRL and online. A Beetrooper, a Battle Wasp, or just like the insect combo pile, I guess. An incredibly amazing deck with some very varied combo lines that just has a lot of cool plays and also offers a lot of follow-up on top of a very solid board. Starting the main deck are 3 copies of your Beetrooper Scout Buggy. This guy is pretty simple. If he hits the board, he will summon another copy of himself from hand, deck, or graveyard, and he also locks you into insects while he's face up on the field. Not that big of a deal, especially since most of your deck will be insects, but try to kind of remember that. Then we move on to a one-off in Heavy Beetrooper Mighty Neptune. You can special summon this guy from your hand by returning 3 of your banished insects into the main deck. Just a neat extender in some cases, and otherwise he's just a big body to help OTKs going second. Moving into a 2-off with the Beetrooper Sting Lancer. This is kind of a handtrap of sorts. As during the main phase, you can quick effect target a monster in your opponent's graveyard and an insect monster in your graveyard. Both get put under their player's decks, and you can special summon this guy from your hand and also unsummon this guy. Adds you a Beetrooper spell or trap. In most cases, turn 1, he will search you your counter trap. But actually a really great card. In most cases, you will need at least 2 during your combo, which is the point. Then we're playing 1 Beetrooper Assault Roller. Playing this over a stack repeat because you can also normal summon this and not need to special summon this by banishing an insect from the grave. Otherwise, he floats when destroyed by battle into another Beetrooper. But in general, this is an extender you can grab off Goki Pole if you dump that to the graveyard. Then playing 3 Beetrooper Scale Bomber. This is one of your main extenders, I guess. As if an insect monster is normal or special, you can just special Scale Bomber from your hand. And the fun part is also that Scale Bomber technically is an interruption on its own, as when your opponent activates a monster effect they control, you contribute an insect and pop that monster, which is very nice. So kind of if you're left with 1 on board, it's not that big of a deal. Another small insect that has a surprisingly good disruption effect is Battle Wasp Sting the Poison. We're playing 3 of this guy because on summon he will add you a Battle Wasp monster from your deck to your hand. And the interruption I mentioned is that he can quick effect tribute another insect you control to target a monster on the field and negate that monster's effect, which is very sick, especially once you revive this guy off of your Seraphim Papillon for an additional interruption on your end board. Then we're playing 3 Pin the Bullseye. Just another extender. You can special this from your hand if you control an insect, and also gives you a way to kind of cheese out wins in time, as this guy can burn your opponent for 200 for each Pin the Bullseye you control. Incredibly cool card, incredibly nice extender. And to kind of, I guess, round out the Battle Wasp extender lineup, I am playing 1 copy of Twin Bow. I think this is just kind of nice to have in the case that you've already drawn a pin and you technically would need another sting target that you can special. Most of your deck is insect anyway, so I haven't ran into too much problems with that. But keep in mind that Twin Bow, if you special him, locks you into insects. And moving into the last of the Battle Wasps, 2 copies of Arbalest the Rapid Fire. On normal summon, this will revive a level 3 or lower insect from your graveyard. Very nice for a follow-up, as you will be searching this off of the Sting you summon on your opponent's turn with your Seraphim. So you already have like Arbalest as your normal summon, can revive Sting, and then Sting will search you another extender, which is rather lovely. So you can definitely tell this deck has a lot of plays to it, to its name, on a follow-up turn. And then we move into some generic insect stuff. 3 copies of Resonance Insect, probably one of the best generic insect cards ever printed. If this is sent from field to the graveyard, you can add a level 5 or higher insect from your deck to your hand, which is why stuff like the Doom Dozer, the Mighty Neptune, or like the Sting Lancers you saw earlier are either 1 or 2-offs. And if this is banished from your graveyard, you can send an insect monster from deck to grave. It just does it all. Fills up your hand while you're comboing off. And also if you banish this, which you have a lot of in archetype ways, you can set up your graveyard for further plays. One of the few changes I made to this deck in like contrast to the initial showing of it on my channel. Main decking 3 copies of Retaliating Sea, was initially side decking this, but found the second playset of a generic hand trap a bit too bricky, as I didn't find as many insects as I'd want, since this is on the one hand a hand trap, but on the other hand also a combo piece. You can either, when your opponent activates a spell card that would special summon a monster, special this from your hand, and while special that way it is Macrocosmos on field. And if this guy is sent from your field to the graveyard, you can add a 1500 or less attack earth insect from your deck to your hand, which in most cases will be a resonance insect, which is rather lovely. Makes Retaliating Sea a surprisingly cool combo piece in the deck. Playing 1 Doomdozer, you special summon this guy by banishing 2 insects from your graveyard. And if this guy inflicts battle damage to your opponent, he is forced to mill the top card of his deck. Just an incredibly cool card. It's either just a big beat stick on a turn 2 for the OTK or an extender. Playing 3 copies of Dragonbite. This on normal summon specials another insect from your hand. Just a really nice extender. Just normal summoning this guy, getting like another body onto the board is rather neat. Definitely helps. It's also a tuner, which hasn't come up still because I'm not too sure. Like, I'm cutting down on the Battle Wasp synchros as we go, but it is what it is. Playing 2 Goki Pole alongside a big insect for kind of this engine, I guess. If Goki Pole is sent to the graveyard, you can add an insect monster that is level 4 from your deck to your hand. And if you added a vanilla, that's why we're playing the big insect, you can special it, pop a monster the opponent controls with equal or higher attack. I'm playing the lowest attack target with 1200 attack here, but you can also play like a bigger body in Shiny Black Sea Squatter. Perfectly reasonable decisions, but Goki Pole is just very neat to grab extenders, maybe an Assault Roller during your combo. In terms of like a very slim spell or trap lineup, playing 1 Monster Reborn for like an additional extender, playing a Caught by the Grave against hand trap, playing a Beetrooper formation. This is your field spell. This lets you target a Beetrooper monster in your graveyard and special summon it, but you take damage equal to its base attack. And it cannot attack directly. Also, if a face-up insect you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Beetrooper token to kind of replace that. But this is just a very nice extender to search off of a Sting Lancer you summoned in your opponent's turn to have kind of, you know, a way to bring back an Invincible Atlas or like a Scout Buggy from the graveyard to start building your board again, which is one of the deck's greatest strengths. Capping off the spell lineup is 1 copy of Beetrooper Descent. This is very nice as a main deck out to Mystic Mine, as this is on the one end an extender, as it specials a Beetrooper token. But also if you control an insect with 3000 or more attack, you can pop a spell or trap on the field. Just very nice to have like at least 1 piece of searchable spell and trap removal in the main deck. Rounding out the main deck, I guess, is the counter trap. This, if your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a Beetrooper, negates the activation and destroys that monster. And also, if this is in your graveyard, that is why you're playing this as a one-off. You control a 3000 attack insect. You can banish another insect from grave and reset this, which is very nice, makes this greatly recurable, and your board's not that weak on a follow-up. Capping off the main deck, R3 Infinite Impermanence, just an incredible hand trap, honestly. I really love playing this, and yeah, just the one thing that caps off the deck, I guess. In terms of the extra deck, we are playing 2 copies of the big boy, Heavy Beetrooper, a giant Beetrooper Invincible Atlas. This is an absolute house, does it all. If you know his attack are 3000 or less, is untargetable and indestructible by card effects, which is already rather lovely, but he also has 2 powerful effects that require an insect tribute to activate. You can either special summon a Beetrooper from deck, which in most cases will be a Sting Lancer to search your counter trap, or make his attack 5000, or like he gains 2000, so he becomes 5000. So you can, I guess, choose to like not have a bit of protection for a bigger beat stick, but Invincible Atlas is just great for your end board, and he will be sitting high and mighty in your EMZ. Playing a Boral Sword Dragon as a way to help close out games. And this is, I guess, the one thing where the deck really struggles, and this honestly should be an access code talker. But access code talker is quite expensive, so I'm playing Borrow Sword. You can still make this easily turn 2 or 3 to OTK. But yeah. The one Seraphim Papillon, this on Link Summon gains counters, gains a counter for each insect monster used for its Link Summon. And this can quick effect remove a counter to special an insect that is level 4 lower from grave. Very nice to again bring back a Sting the Poison on a follow-up. To have that additional interruption, you only really need one, as you will be putting this one back with your Sting Lancer into your extra deck once you use your Sting effect. So yeah, it's great for that. Also helps link climbing. As previously mentioned, if you have an access code talker, this would be your third attribute to banish. Playing 3 copies of Beetrooper Armorhorn, one of your Link 2 extenders that is rather big. Takes 2 insects. You cannot special accept insects. And you can only use each effect once. This is either an additional normal summon. This is an additional normal summon for an insect from your hand, which is very nice. Lets you trigger stuff like a Dragon Bite or an Arbalest if you drew into those. And this also is able to banish 3 other insects from your graveyard to revive itself from the graveyard, but it gets banished when it leaves the field. That is why we are also playing 3 to kind of max out on that, as we don't have a way to recycle this. But yeah, just a great Link 2 extender. You will, in most cases, go into this before this absolutely amazing card. 3 copies of Insector Picofalena. If she is Link Summoned, you discard a card, target another insect you control, equip an insect from deck to it as an equip spell, which in most cases will be your Resonance Insect, so you have that access to a level 5 or higher search, as the Resonance Insect will also trigger if it is sent as an equip card. Another like neat ability of hers is that she can let you shuffle 3 insects from your graveyard back into the deck to draw 1. This in most cases has that effect that most of your engine is like shuffled back into your main deck at the end of your combo. But that's kind of neat because you can keep like your like resources very much well in rotation, but you kind of need to be careful that you don't shuffle away like your entire setup. So yeah, she's great. In terms of some generic links, playing a Nightmare Phoenix for some additional back row removal as the deck struggles with that, and a Salamangreat Armorage to really like help maybe play out of some of those worse hands, as you are maybe able to like link off a normal summoned Resonance Insect to at least get like a Sting Lancer into your hand. But yeah. Playing a number 3 Cicada King, a really cracked rank 3 that you can make in this deck, as this is a monster negate and also an extender, because if a monster on the field activates an effect, you can quick effect detach a material from this card, negate that monster's effects. That is a permanent negate, by the way. I only recently found that out. And then you can either make an insect on the field gain 500 defense or change its battle position. And the fun part is if Cicada King's battle position is changed, you can revive or you can special summon a insect monster from your hand or graveyard in defense, which is rather neat. So Cicada King is just a great card. You will most likely look to make this as soon as possible on like a follow-up turn to like secure your plays from on-board negations. Playing a small Battle Wasp Synchro package of a Hammer the Conquering Bow and a Halberd the Charge. Hammer may be able to like cheese out a game by burn, because if you don't deal damage to your opponent in a battle phase, you can burn your opponent. Hammer is also a 28 beat stick, which is not too terrible. Halberd is probably the one where I'm most confidently not gonna cut him, because I haven't made Hammer yet, but I need to like find a good replacement first. Because Halberd, if he attacks something that is as big as him or bigger than him, he can halve that monster's attack, which is very nice. And if he inflicts battle damage, he also does like a little bit of burn, so that is cool. Overall, a just incredibly sick deck. Has a lot of plays, has a solid end board, and has a lot of follow-up options. In general, I absolutely love it. Yeah. What do you think of this deck if you have played this before? And maybe, you know, let me know what you think of this deck if you took a look into it after watching this video. But in general, really cool deck. Can only highly recommend checking this out. But with all that out of the way, I'll thank you guys very much for watching. See you guys again next time. But until then, goodbye.